Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, let's see. So today, at this moment, I cleared everything out except for these books. Don't get distracted by them, but this is the gear that I normally use all the time when I dungeon, and I strictly dungeon in yellow region. Okay, so yellow dungeons. It's safe. I'm just the area is very crowded, so there's a lot of what shall I say, individuals that like to get really nasty. So I stick to the yellow dungeon. I've been in the yellow dungeons and been staying there. I rarely go into the red zones and the black zones. Really nasty area. I'm just don't want to have a huge setback. If you look at my stats, they're not the greatest, but they're pretty good. So I still got a lot of work to do, so I just want to continually move up. And until I'm finally completely secure, I guess, I rather not mess around with the dark zone and all that stuff. So today, all I want to talk about is this gear, and I'm going to go through the expedition. And this is where I would advise you to go when you check out gear. So today we're going to do a gear check, right? Gear check, Grandmaster, Great Axe. It's the Great Axe Tier 7, okay? That's where I'm going to go. That's what I'm going to check. This is part of the Axe family, right? Axe Fighter. I highly recommend that you use this family of weaponry um, if you like damage. You like damage, you like AoE, area of attack, where you can attack a lot of people at once. This is it. And you want burst, this will burst people down. Alright? So I will show you. Okay? Tier 5, solo, go here. You want to mess around and check out your gear on your own. No one's going to bother you. Once a day, you get a little bit of perks. Then here we go. Okay, so this will be much faster than the other weapon check, which was a tier 4, and they were low quality, blah blah blah, no upgrades. This is not the same, alright? So first things first, I am set up like this, where I have my rendering swing. That's just a swing in an area, pretty short area, so you got to be right up against a couple guys. And it does have a little bleed, which lasts for 5 seconds, so it's additional damage, and they bleed about 20 physical damage per second, right? Exactly that for 5 seconds. So that's another 100 damage, 6-meter radius. It's a nice little cleanup attack. I use it as a lead-in also. This is a nice AoE area of attack where you can really attack a whole bunch of guys. Does a lot of damage, 90 damage in magic, right? And it's can hit a big area, and it lasts for 2.5 seconds. You'll see it in action, and this is really the feature, right? The whirlwind. This is always the feature in just about every weapon. This is their feature. This is no exception. The Great Axe, it's the whirlwind. Okay, 5 seconds, 172 damage, spinning around, going nuts, and just really cutting people down and melting them. Okay, just melting them. You'll see that in a second. I have a little lifesteal. You want lifesteal. Why do you want lifesteal? You want lifesteal in this case because of my huge damage output, right? You can't really steal off of a very tiny amount. It's not that practical, but when you do ridiculous damage, normal attack damage, you want to be able to steal some of that, and it helps over a certain period of time. This is a double upgrade, right? 2 upgrade, which makes the axe damage pretty OP. 152, 129 per second, based on its attack speed, which isn't great, right? So it's 8.85, less than 1 per second. That's why you scale down. from the attack total attack damage. If it was 1 for 1, then it's 152 per second. Okay, so I will say that this is the attack speed, and that's the attack damage per second. But if you look at the scale up, it's 202 per second. Okay, why? Because I got these boots. Add another 3.5% damage, physical damage. I got this awesome armor, which adds 53% attack bonus, right? That's a must-have. If you look at my other videos, you know that I like Mend Wounds. Not only does it regenerate health, but regenerates mana at a high rate of speed. So that helps you also, right? You'll see why. And you know I love this Assassin's Hood because of this. Mediation. Reduces cooldown. You've seen it before in my other videos. This is a must-have. Must-have, okay? And then attack speed, that also helps. So this is a must-have. That's why I still use a tier 4, even though it's a triple upgrade. I still use a tier 4 item. Why? Because of this. Must-have. I don't know what else to say. This is an extra bonus item. Berserk. This cape, right? Expert Keeper cape. This Berserk skill here activates on its own. It's a passive. When my health drops below 70%, which is still pretty high, I get a 50% attack boost for 6 seconds. How much more OP do you want than that, right? So this guy's easy. One. Oops. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. So these guys are pretty easy. I can chop them down. So I'm not going to use any special. Not until here, where I can. I got multiple people. I'm not going to pick anything up, I guess. It was a habit before. But. So I was narrating it. It's hard to keep track of time since I already narrated quite a bit in the beginning. So, regardless, this should go pretty easily. Obviously, no threat and no danger. I don't care what that guy does, but there's no threat or danger. So as you can see, the amount of damage that it's being dished out here is pretty ridiculous, right? Like 3 hit that person with my Q. That's one of the hits. 1, 2, Q. Yeah, he's really dishing out a lot of damage. I'm using my mediate to bring everything back up, right? And just cut through this guy pretty quickly. So you can melt people pretty fast, right? Use your Q and then transition to your W. And then when your D comes back up, bring all the cooldown back. So multiple enemies doesn't matter. Just simply doesn't matter. Just make sure they're in your zone of damage, and you're good. That's really it. It's does not take a lot of skill to play this type of weapon setup. I'm just circling around till they're dead. That's it. I lead in with my Q, hit my W, and then regular auto attack. Dodge is channeling, regular auto attack, and that's it. Okay, so at this point I'm low on mana, which is very mana intensive to use these type of skills. So I'm channeling my R, which will regenerate my mana. You really don't need health, but it's the mana that counts here. So later, if you want to go check out the dungeon check for this gear, the yellow dungeon, you'll see that it basically goes through everything very quickly. I can run through guys fairly quickly, no problem. Things are kind of spaced out here, so might take a little longer than usual. Just moving up there. Okay. See, in the gear that I have, you know, I don't really care if they hit me a couple times. If you look at my hit points, I'm at the 2300, so it's pretty high. Right when it's maxed out, no problem. So again, this expedition area, great place to check out your gear. Nobody's gonna bother you. No one walks in on you. If you're in a dungeon, that can happen. You know what to expect. It's pretty straightforward. So come in here and check your gear when you want to try something out. It's perfect for it. I highly recommend it. Okay, I don't. Oh boy. This guy normally would be very difficult, but you just cut him down and melt him. No big deal. So be aware, right? The only thing that will hurt you more than anything is the fact that you have no mana. Your mana is too low. Your mana is too low. Your skills are no good. Can't use them. So I lead in with a Q and then transition to my W, and that's it. So I'm heading towards the end, and it seems pretty quick. Definitely a lot quicker than the other gear that I was using before. Bring my mana back up. And then I'm allowing the other cooldowns to happen at the same time. Okay. Yeah, you're pretty much melting people. If you have, obviously, if your masteries here isn't as high, you're not getting the same amount of output, right? Huge output, 20 bonus to the power of all axes, right? It's huge. And here, specialty for combat, for great axe combat, right? I'm gonna learn this. And what does that do? Another 11 power on top for using this type of weapon. So I'm getting a huge boost. I'm gonna admit that. And you know, if you're starting out, you're not gonna get that. Okay? Okay, I'm at the boss. That didn't take too long. I'm gonna make sure my mana is max. Every boss you get to, standard procedure, right? Make sure everything's cooled down, everything is up, and look at your lead in. I mean, most of the time this is automatic, right? But for purposes of demonstration, you kind of got to be aware, right? So F, I'm gonna do the defenseless rush. I'll take more damage, but I have so much HP, it doesn't matter. So this is really good because it's a speed boost and it gives you 20% damage on top. All right. So leading with this, hit him with the swing, the rending swing, and then the raging blade, and then transition to your E in the whirlwind. Pretty standard. That's how I do it. You don't have to do it the same way, but that's how I do it. So just like that, half his health is gone, right? I don't want to get caught in the middle there, so I usually, or in the edge, so I walk away to get some clearance, right? It's just some strategy. Okay, watch out, he's ramping up with his own OP attack. I activated my cape, but I can't do anything, so I'm gonna mediate, which allows me to go, you know, go into my whirlwind, because the mediate reduces your cooldown, allows you to get your other skills back up. It was very easy to kill him, obviously. And you can look at the replay. And now that this gear is demonstrated for you, this is the gear I'm going to take into the yellow dungeon. Okay? And I'm going to do 3 dungeons. And then I'm going to average out the loot. I'm going to sell it all and then give you a summary. And then you kind of have an idea on how this gear does, meaning how fast it is to go through the dungeon, and secondly, you know, what you're going to get as far as loot. Okay, so subscribe, go check out the other videos, and thanks for watching.